Okay, so once you have downloaded the Bitmoji extension, we're going to go ahead and add your Bitmoji to your locker. So when you click on the Bitmoji icon in the top right, we are looking for Bitmojis that are full length. So we want from head to toe. We want a Bitmoji that does not have a background. So for example, this first one would not be an appropriate Bitmoji because it has stuff going on in the background. So that wouldn't be realistic. So if we don't want backgrounds, we also don't want words. So something like this one, the no doubt one, would not be appropriate because even though we think things, other people can't see them. So we want it to be full length without any words or a background. This is a good one here. Now, and I will say, hopefully I don't have to say this, but let me just say, so that I don't forget, let's make sure it's appropriate. Everything in this virtual locker, we need to make sure it's appropriate. So if you wouldn't get in trouble for it at home, if you wouldn't get in trouble for it at school, you can use it. All right, hopefully that didn't need to be said, but just in case. So once you select your Bitmoji, drag her over, or him, whichever pronoun you prefer. We're going to drag it over. We want it to be on the ground and proportional. That's a math word, proportional to your locker. So obviously we don't have, let me get it aligned a little bit better there. All right. So obviously we don't want emojis or our Bitmojis to be taller than our lockers because that wouldn't be realistic. We don't want them to be, an inch tall, like tiny little Smurfs. We want it to be proportional to our locker. So I could probably afford to be a little bit taller, but otherwise, I think that's okay. All right, next thing is to start adding our pictures. So you don't have to add everything that's on the left. We do want you to have at least 10, but you don't have to add everything on the left. This just gives you an idea. So I'm going to start with pictures. Now, I think it's easiest to upload your pictures to your Google Drive. So if you are on your phone, you can click the picture and click the share row. So the share row is the little rectangle with the arrow coming out of it. And then go ahead and send it to your Google Drive. That way you'll have everything right here. So I can move this picture of my son Rex over. You just drag it over to your locker. We want it to fit inside the little cubby. So again, because I want to maintain the proportionality so that the length and width don't get distorted, you want to drag it from the corner. So drag it from the corner so that the length and width change at the same rate. And I want that to fit in my locker. Sometimes it's hard to get it perfectly centered. So if you're a perfectionist like me, that might tingle your OCD a little bit, but we'll just kind of get it as best we can. Now, this is an extra step. You do not have to do this, but this is something that I did. I made a frame for my picture. So if you want to put a frame behind your picture, we're going to go to Insert, Shapes, choose the rectangle. You want to make the frame a little bit larger than your picture. So I'm going to drag it past the corners. Now, you'll see that it's white. So we can change the color. Let me make it a little bit prettier. I'm going to make it this green color. You can see that it's covering your picture. So here's a good tool to use. We want to order our images to overlap. I don't want to cover up my picture. So if you select the rectangle, go to order and send it backwards, it will send it behind your picture. So that order feature is a really cool feature when you start to add everything and things start overlapping and you want to bring things to the front or send it to the back. You're going to select it, right click, order, and send it to the back, or if you need to bring something to the front. All right, I'll stop right there. I'll pick up in a second with more images.